Namaste, angels. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing and showing up tonight. I'm going to ask you before I get started to take another moment, those of you who are here with good intentions for the purpose of exchanging positive energy, love, and light with me and my other followers, especially those of you who will be joining us in a physical way on the live super chat later. To please take a moment to also pray over the channel and the video. YouTube stays messing with me. They just stay messing with me. And not only do you guys not get, a lot of you not get your notifications, not know that I've even posted a video, not get to see the video, have trouble playing it a lot of the time, to have people that have to do funky stuff just in order to play the video. You know, it won't play when I share it on Facebook. They can't click on the link and just all kinds of stuff. But this week, also, you guys couldn't comment. I was getting all kinds of messages from people in my email, on my Facebook. I'm not complaining. I thank you for saying, like, I couldn't comment on the video, so I'm commenting here because I still want you to know how I feel about the video. I'm so thankful, and I really, really appreciate those things. But I'm annoyed that you can't comment on the video. I'm annoyed that there's always something going on. So again, I want to ask those of you who are here, for, with good intentions, not the person that comes and watches my videos just for the purpose of disliking them. There's one sick fuck out there with a real, issue, mental incapacity, that I don't want to give any energy to. But not that person or anybody else like them, but those of you who genuinely show up to show out for the light, and take a moment to just ask, and let's all share our energy together, widely. In the name of the Mother, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and all things and beings holy. So that includes all of our, ancestors and guides of the light that also mean us well. Things and beings holy. Nothing unholy, surrounding this channel. To please cover us all, not just me in the channel, but cover us all, those of us who are here watching, sharing positive energy with one another, with your love and light and protection and shielding. Help us to clear our energy, to make it more healthy, to leave any negativity behind. Help us to take full advantage of this full Virgo super moon, as well as Chiron entering Aries for the next 8 to 9 years, to the year 2027, that will bring us to a place of where we're healing the most intricate parts of our literal self. Chiron and Aries being all about self-awareness, self-love, self-discipline, self-healing. Help us to take full advantage of all of that. And please help us to get all the likes, shares, subscriptions, comments, views that we are meant. Nothing more, nothing less. But please prevent anything negative or dark from prohibiting any of my viewers or supporters from getting the information that they need. I ask that this be done across all dimensions, all time, space, continuum, from the very beginning, the first day that Who said, to infinity and beyond. Amen. All right, so on that note, let's go to the almanac, like we always do for my full moon readings. And I've really got particular pleasure out of doing this month, the month of February, because the almanac was created by a black man, Benjamin Banneker, and we're still using it today, or at least I am. So 11:11 p.m. I waited till, not intentionally, just happened that way. I looked up, it was 11:11 when I looked up to do the reading. I said, okay, on that note, it is time. And I sat here on the 18th, which was another very full day as it relates to cosmic energy. We had a lot of things going on. So I'll get to that in a moment. But I am on www.almanac.com right now. I want to give full credit to them. This particular page, it looks like, was authored by a woman named Catherine Boakman. She did it today, February 18th, 2019. The February super snow moon. February's full moon peaks on Tuesday morning, February 19th, but will appear full the night before and after its peak to the casual stargazer. For North America time zones, the full moon crests at 11:53 a.m., 10:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 11:53 must be like Universal Time. 9:53 a.m. Central Standard Time. 7:53 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. 6:53 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And 5:53 a.m. HST. I'm not sure what HST is. An hour more than Pacific. That might be like Alaska, because I think Alaska is an hour more than Pacific time. It will also be called, or so-called, a supermoon, which means the moon is at its closest point in orbit to the Earth. In fact, the February full moon is the nearest, largest, and brightest full moon of the year. Technically, it's the second of 3 supermoons to occur in 2019. January, February, and March, these will take place. And this one is actually the largest of the year. Technically, yes, but practically, it depends on your point of comparison. The supermoon's diameter is indeed 7% greater than an ordinary full moon and 14% greater than a full moon when it's at its furthest point in orbit to Earth. In parentheses, they have, and also in quotes, a micromoon. A supermoon exceeds the brightness of an ordinary moon by 15%. When compared to a micromoon, the supermoon is 30% brighter. That said, it's debatable whether you can discern the difference in appearance with the naked eye. Full moon names for February. In ancient times, people across Europe and Native Americans used the moon to track seasons. In the lunar calendar, names were often given to each month's moon. If this sounds odd to you, remember that our current calendar is based on the sun and the solar year. So people used to do it on the lunar year, is what they're saying. Traditionally, the moon we see in February is called the snow moon due to the typically heavy snowfall in February. That was before climate change. On average, February is the USA's snowiest month, according to data from the National Weather Service. Other full moon names include the shoulder to shoulder around the fire moon. That sounds cozy. And this is from the Wishram people of the Pacific Northwest. It's also called the no snow in the trails moon by the Zuni of the Southwest, and the bone moon by the Cherokee of the Southeast. The bone moon meant that there was so little food that people gnawed on bones and ate bone marrow soup, like to survive. They have a video if you want to look further into the moon, where they are explaining, and they do this every month, it says, like all the traditional names and the moon weather. You can go on their site if you want to do that. They give the best days for planting. Those of you who are able to do that, I'm so jealous, actually, because I don't have a garden. I live in the city. But they give days for planting if you want to look it up, and for fishing. Other stuff I can't do, for setting eggs. Moon facts and folklore. On February 6th, in the year 1971, Alan Shepard became the first man to hit a golf ball on the moon. Did you know that the moon's diameter is 2,160 miles, or 9? Maybe it's like 360 degrees. This is less than the width of the United States, which is approximately 3,000 miles, and 0.27 of Earth's diameter, another 9. Wolves have howled at the moon for centuries, yet it's still there. And hand in hand, on the edge of the sand, they dance by the light of the moon, is a poet that was written by Edward Lear, and he lived from 1812 to 1888. And that's the end of the moon folklore. I did want to just mention one other thing. I posted on Facebook, those of you who are on my page, some other moon news, folklore earlier that I wanted to share with you guys too. So the largest supermoon of 2019 is this February 19th moon. And it will be 221,734 miles from the Earth at the peak of its full moon phase. The vibrations of Virgo will be amplified, and Virgo resonates with love and passion, so we can expect loving miracles, and we shouldn't forget to focus on these passions at this time for the best results. I don't ask you to focus on stuff that you're letting go, but I do suggest you either bring it to mind and like mentally release it, consciously tell the universe that you want to release it and yourself, or write it down and, you know, release it that way by putting it in a God box or setting it afire like I would do. But I also wanted to point out, so it's the 2019 supermoon. It's the largest, the largest supermoon of 2019, equaling 1119. And February 19th is another 219 or 1119. I pointed out that only my viewers would know what that meant, and I'll go on to explain it briefly for those of you who are new to my channel and don't know what it means. Also, the 221,734 miles from Earth that it's going to be also equals 19. As you know, I add everything up in my head as I read, number geek that I am. So what did that mean? As far as I'm concerned, why did I post this? I wanted to point out to everybody, first of all those wonderful 1119s, and what that further meant for us in relation to Father. But then adding the Virgo to it, because I've also told my viewers from the very beginning that I believe that the sun is a Virgo, not somebody born in Christmas. And of course, the sun, to me, the original vibration of the sun is Horus. So a Virgo, with the Scorpion King or Father being celebrated and coming through with his numerology, 1119 so many times, and then the Sun, the Virgo present, on this day, to me, it shows they will be bringing us great joy and love for not only that day, but days to come. And what better time to do it? It's also not only during the month of Adar, in the Hebrew calendar, but February 19th of 2019 during the month of Adar is Little Purim, which I talked about during the general reading. The feast day of Little Purim, which is the celebration of joy. Why were the Jews joyous? Because on that day they were celebrating the death of King Haman and Esther having conquered him on behalf of all the divine feminine at the time, and basically freeing all of her people. So that's why it was such a joyous month, because they escaped all of that. So I wanted you guys to be aware of all that too. So, okay, so those of you who are new to my channel, I started the channel in 2016. I've always been psychic. I had a major awakening, you know, like a really fast track awakening from my original gifts and everything in like 2015. And then I was told on March 10th of 2016 to start this channel. And I was also told pretty quickly thereafter that King Osiris basically was God, was the Father, and that he wanted his birthday celebrated on 11/19. And I went on to explain, and I have tons of videos. I actually noticed yesterday, whatever video I put up, it was my 1661th video, 1661. So I've already surpassed it because I went on to add more videos at that time. But I've done videos on this, on him, and over the course of the time that I've been on here, I continually prove, my viewers will tell you, that this is true, that what I've shown them is true. What was shown to me that I went on to show them is absolutely 100% true, that I was the only one on this journey, on this YouTube, and in this area, whatever, that's been shown these things, the only one that ever talked about it. And the proof is there. The proof is online. And the proof as to why I was the one that was shown is also there online. You know, the different things about me from going all the way back to the beginning. this past year, 2018, it was really, really solidified when the Prophet Muhammad's birthday fell on the same day. Now you probably say, how can somebody's birthday fall on a different day? His birthday is celebrated in November every year, just like we celebrate King Osiris's birthday every year as he instructed me. But Muhammad's birthday, they connected with the moon, the day that they celebrated. And so this year it actually fell on 11/19 and 2018. And this year, 2019, it will be celebrated on 11/9. So it will kind of equal an 11/19 anyway, because 11/9 equals 11 and the year is still 2019. All right. So on that note, it's time for our reading. But first, dice. And this is all about surrounding the energy of the moon. Buy shoes, weekend away, and emails with what I'm starting. Spirit says, try again. Party. And still weekend away. For the try again, I'm trying again. It still says try again. So there may be something that we shouldn't give up. We should keep at it until it works. It still says try again. And then no. So the third time, after that, don't put any more energy toward it. Oh, super quick. One more thing before I do the cards, because I want you to be aware of this other energy. What else is going on during this period of 2 weeks? So today, again, February 18th at 4:09 a.m., Chiron entered Aries. Also, at 6:04 p.m. today, the sun entered Pisces. So the 18th today is the last day of Aquarius season. And tomorrow, the 19th, when this moon is being celebrated, will be the first day of Piscean season. Also, February 19th, 10:53 a.m., full moon in Virgo. March 1st, 11:45 a.m., Venus enters Aquarius. March 5th, you're not going to like this one so much, 1:18 p.m., Mercury enters retrograde. It's our first retrograde of the year. And March 6th, Uranus enters Taurus. And at 3:28 a.m. and then at 11:04, the new moon in Pisces. So March 5th, the day that Mercury retrograde begins, will be the last day for which this reading is, because the following day we will have the new moon and new energy. Beginning this reading with the energy of leaving from my butterfly deck. And I think I did last month too. And last month I felt that the leaving had to do with adult children, which in many cases was us. And this time I feel it's mostly for the divine masculine. I mean, of course, some of the feminine could be leaving something too, or someone, but I think that this is primarily the divine masculine's energy. He is leaving something behind, or someone again, and instead welcoming the new. Why do I think that? Because that's what my other reading showed. The general and the love reading indicated that. Welcome to the new. And new career. Could be actually a new job, very literal. Could be a new path, new life purpose. So like not his job here in the 3D, but his job for the universe. And could be having something to do with a new mate. Like I sometimes call a mate a boss, and so a new career is like I got a new boss. Welcome to the new. And grief work. So this is getting over what it is we're leaving behind. Grief work. We're moving toward or dealing with relationship dynamics. So in some cases, like this grief work, opposite the relation dynamics, this is like divorces and stuff. Or this is addressing hurt between us, pain between us, so that for the purposes of healing it and remedying something. Last month when grief work showed up, right away I got sad because it was about death. I'm not feeling that right now. And self-care. So on this note with the self-care, I'll stop because I had explained already that would be from my feeling what this moon was about. But we have self-care opposite relationship dynamics. So this is about the relationship with yourself and which will in part help you with the relationship with others. That's not why we fix our relationship with ourselves or work on our relationship with ourselves, but it's a benefit. Self-care. Welcome the new. Overall energy is still welcome the new. So divine being or couple, recent past, masculine higher self, near future, blocks to union or to one's individual process and progress. The divine feminine, what she can do to help herself in that regard, what the masculine can, what the universe recommends to the two, but they will have to affirm to it to get that full support and the outcome. Divine being or couple healing from the past. So this is where we are right now and what we're working on. And look at all the earth energy surrounding it. I mean, this is my butterfly deck. But some of these cards are more about, you know, plant life, feature more plant life than others and more green. Recent past. Heavenly signs. So a lot of synchronicities coming in. I can certainly attest to this. I'm sure that some of you have been seeing just, you know, a crazy amount of signs. I heard from a couple of you in this regard too. People that have been in separation for a long time, that it's just been amped up for you guys too. And I'm so happy to hear that. The reason you were contacting me is because I did a video for anyone who missed it and who might need this guidance. I did a video for people who have been in separation 1, 2, 3 or more years. Some people are in separation 10, 15, 20 years, you know, and you're finally brought back together. You've heard the love stories, like the movie, The Notebook, right? You know, years and years later, they finally come back together and everything works out. And I definitely feel that shift for a lot of us. Near future. Boom, see? Near future, relationship dynamics. As I'm talking about it. The masculine's higher self right now is join in. So, and look, 2 butterflies coming together. Join in. So that's what it's meaning for me. It's about, you know, coming together. Blocks to one's individual progress or union. Leaving. So this could be the fact that we have not left something behind that we need to in order to welcome the new. When I picked this up, also up right behind it is realizations and epiphanies. This may be why we haven't left yet. Like we haven't realized that we need to. We had something may need to happen for some of us to get like a jolt in order to book it. And this can feel very tower-like, something very sudden coming in, making you say, or, I know what I have to do now. And leaving can be more metaphorical too, where you're not really leaving, but you're getting moving. You know, it's about movement. You're finally making a move, finally doing something. So what can the feminine do to help herself where she's stuck? Volunteer. Don't wait for tower energy. You know what you have to do. Go willingly. Or, you know, take the guidance that your guides are sending you and giving you willingly and just do it on your own. Why do we have to wait for the world or the tower to force us, you know, to get moving? What about the masculine? What can or should he do? It is forgiveness. So this is seeking forgiveness. It's not just you forgiving someone else, but it is you forgiving yourself first and foremost, and then seeking forgiveness of others, and then also, you know, generously giving them your forgiveness as well. And sometimes I tell my viewers all the time, sometimes we have to accept the apologies we're never going to get. There's some people with whom we need to heal relationships, but we're never going to get the physical opportunity to do it. So you're just going to have to accept the apology anyway and allow yourself to leave the situation behind. Because you're the one being held back, right? You're the one that's being prohibited by your own energy. You're blocking your own blessings as long as you hold on to that old negative energy. So why not, you know, get rid of it, leave it behind so that you can leave the whole situation behind and move forward with your life. Okay, that's what the leaving means. So that you can join in, you know, with the rest of us that are moving forward. We don't want to leave you behind stuck. What the universe recommends to the two, but you'll have to affirm it yourselves. Sobriety, like clarity of mind. So for some, this is actual sobriety. You can't move forward if you are, you know, intoxicated. You're not in your right mind. Congratulations again to all of my clients that have gone sober. Look, Raphael passes at that moment. You hear the sirens? Yeah, so this is the universe wanting, you know, reaching out. Oh, it's getting louder. I thought it was going to go away. Very nice. This is the universe wanting to help you to get clarity, whether, again, it's literal, that you're foggy because you are intoxicated by some sort of substance, addicted perhaps, or if you just haven't been able to find the place and peace of mind that would allow these realizations and epiphanies to come through, the universe wants to help you to achieve that. But you have to commit to yourself and to doing it. And then you'll get that full support. And the outcome here, it's adult children again. Adult children was here, and this is the card I was talking about. And it's still next to leaving. And I think in this case, it still relates to us for the most part. Not our adult children, but us. We are the adult children. Like we are the ones that need to get going with our lives. And again, maybe most specifically the divine masculine in this case, at least based on the other readings that I did this week, but you know, it can apply to totally to anybody. And then for some, of course, there will be some sort of activity with your adult children as well. Maybe they are leaving, you know, moving out, going to college, or maybe you're leaving. You're leaving. I always tell my kids, I'm going to have to be the one to move, I see, because nobody wants to go. I keep trying to push them out of the nest and they're not going. I say, okay, I'm going to have to go, obviously. Okay, so let's get another perspective. So I'm going to do the same spread, but a different look. Again, from the, you know, universe, perspective of the universe, beginning with new love. All right, this is interesting. So already this is about love. Here's a couple at the table. And the way that I've opened them, or maybe the way they've turned up, she has her back to him. This way that they're facing each other. So Venus did have a favorable transit today too. I didn't mention that when I talked about all the things that went on today. But Venus was conjunct Saturn today, and it was a very positive and favorable transit. Ice Queen, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to be a direct air sign though, of course. Ice King, same thing. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but also Leo, perhaps. And this very Martian-like figure brings in the energy also of Aries. Again, Aries, where Chiron entered today. Or Scorpio, also ruled by Mars. But those two coming up opposite new love, it is showing us a couple. Very like Emperor and Empress, because Venus is the Empress. Major Arcana card 3 in the tarot. Represents the planet Venus, ruler of Gemini, Libra, and Taurus. And opening to mature man. So more of this Aries-like energy. This mature man may be a father, or a married man, or divorcee, a widower. Could be your father. Or this could be you as a father, a parent. This is a very Empress-like energy too. Party of 3, like her Major Arcana card 3. New beginnings, new starts. Can also be literal, actual children. Maybe not small children, maybe adult children. And then this is the father figure, the Emperor. Children. And true gem. True gem can be, again, an actual air sign. Maybe most specifically an actual Gemini. ruled by Venus in part. Can also be about value, worth, worthiness. Children. I'll do one more, and it is work. So here comes the Saturn, perhaps. Again, Venus was conjunct Saturn today. Saturn, ruler of Capricorn. This card tends to bring in the energy of Capricorn for me. Capricorn's very like work oriented, you know, always wanting to work, maybe too much, you know, maybe to their fault, to their detriment. Card also about earth signs in general for me, but again, it is mostly Capricorn, but Taurus, Virgo as well, where the moon will be. So this can definitely be new beginnings that come after the moon. Children, I'll cut here. Oh. Whoop. What are those? Freedom and long distance. So freedom is a very Aquarian energy for me. You know, they can't be locked down, or I should say we can't be locked down. I'm very much Aquarius, although it's not my sun sign. I have a lot of Aquarius. And there may be some of us who actually need to travel across water. Like we want to break away and really get away. Long distance. For others, this is about patience for the next phase after you do break away. I'm going to stick these back in arbitrarily. Just wanted to point them out since they had sort of jumped out at us. And that brings us to gifts. Overall energy is dark male, which is my representation in this particular deck of the divine masculine. Divine being or couple. Recent past, near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks to one's individual progress or to the couples. What the feminine can do to help herself. What the masculine can. What the universe would have the two do, but they will have to affirm it. And the outcome. Divine being a couple. It is travel. I just felt a moment ago that some of us will actually have to travel and perhaps across water. This card is very chariot-like for me too. So it's a card of victory. It's a card of movement, where, especially where we had been stuck before, where something had been stagnant. All of a sudden it is moving. You are in the driver's seat. You are in control. You are manifesting your destiny. It could represent the sign of Cancer too, where there was another transit today that I didn't mention. Jupiter, sequiquadrate the true node, which is currently Cancer. Recent past. Fair male. So some sort of karmic situation, maybe involving an actual Capricorn. This card is very devil for me from the traditional tarot. And it may be connected to Mercury too in Capricorn. I'm not sure in what way, but I just heard Mercury in Capricorn. So maybe something else will pop up that'll help me to understand what that means more so. But again, Venus also was today conjunct Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn. Near future. Money. This is abundance. It's a very Ace of Pentacles kind of card for me. Coming into abundance, maybe because of Capricorn energy, because of work, putting effort into something. And now this is the result. The fruits of our labor is actual money. This can be representative of earth signs too. So it could be connected to Virgo, Taurus, and maybe specifically the Virgo moon as well. It'd be about value and worth and deservingness and worthiness. New starts. Masculine's higher self. It is wallflower. And this card is also often very representative for me of the sign of Capricorn, as well as Scorpio and Gemini, because it's about free will. And those three signs are not necessarily the most stubborn in the zodiac. There are others that are considered stubborn, like Taurus. But these are the ones who would be like this. Like, you get invited to a party. People want you at the party because they're cool, you're cool and they like you. Gemini, Scorpio, right? Capricorn. But you get there and you might not even be participating. So it's like, you know, why were you invited? Again, because people like you, but you're being a dud. These other people are dancing. So this card for me is about deciding whether you're going to sit it out like this woman or dance. So it's a free will choice that has to be made that's coming up for the divine masculine. And I would say, you know, it's about him leaving. Maybe that's what travel is about, movement, leaving something or someone behind that is toxic for him, right? That no longer resonates or aligns with his life purpose or path, or not, or sitting, getting left behind, sitting and being stuck. He has that choice. Are you going to sit it out, masculine, or are you going to dance? Blocks to people's individual progress in general, and or, you know, union coming together. It is not being in control of your life. It is Ice King. Now, this for some can be more literal too, and it can be an actual person that is blocking you, that is getting in your way, somebody that's like controlling you, somebody that is overbearing and you feel stuck. Maybe your father, maybe the father of your children. You could be adult child again. This card again representative for me very much of the energy of Mars, and therefore Aries, Scorpio. But as well as all of the air signs. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and also Leo. Could easily be representing somebody's, again, father or boss or whatever, who is a Leo or an Aries or a Scorpio or an air sign. And, you know, maybe particularly overbearing and is a block. Or it could just be a general thing of this sort of energy is keeping us from moving forward and doing what we have to do. Like something, we're not in control of our own lives. We need to be the emperor. We need to be the leader in our own lives. And we're not doing that. Somebody else is. Maybe because we've been stuck. It's sitting here next to this very Saturn and Capricorn energy. That's an energy of restriction and stuckness. So this has been holding us back. What the feminine can do to help herself, though, is gossip. I would definitely say stay away from gossip. This is a warning about a 5 of Swords or 5 of Wands energy surrounding you, feminine. And what you can do is definitely not feed into it, not enter conflict with this person who may be your father, or maybe the father of your children, or your boss, or some sort of authority, somebody who you feel has dominion over you, or maybe who you've actually allowed to have some sort of dominion over you. Don't get into it with them, because you don't want to in any way affect your karma and your blessing that's coming in, which is, again, this very Ace of Pentacles sort of energy here. What can the masculine do to help himself is soulmate. So this is about focus, masculine. This is about you, you know, putting your attentions where they belong. Soulmate. There can be something, though, telling you that you need to break away from a karmic soulmate, because again, it's crossing this very karmic energy. When I say karmic, I'm putting it in air quotes because they're all karmic soulmates. Even a divine union, a twin flame, the love of your life, that's a karmic soulmate, you know, technically. Karma just means involves a lesson and is of the universe, is destined, period. It doesn't mean something derogatory like it's come to be known. But I'm using it like that now. That's why I'm putting it in air quotes. This can be a karmic soulmate, the karmic. And what you need to do is break away from them. Maybe that is who is, again, pulling your strings and has been controlling you. Maybe because, again, you're married to them, you have a child with them or something. And so you've allowed that to sort of restrict you. And disallow you from being happy, and that's what you have to not do anymore. So what the universe recommends to both, oh wow, look at this. The same way I started out with a couple, the king and queen of ice. This is the blonde female in this deck, and you can see she's actually a redhead. This is a very like youthful queen of wands sort of card for me, and she's the representation of the divine feminine. So now we have the overall energy of the divine masculine, and the universe telling us to get with the divine feminine too as a part of the advice. And feminine for us, that would mean for us to, you know, step into our role and not give up and, you know, keep moving forward. And what is behind the divine masculine, also upright but true love. And also upright but children. So new starts, new blessings. Again, this is very Empress for me. But unfortunately, also upright, this short-term heartbreak, discord, maybe, you know, gossip, conflict that could prevent us from moving forward for a moment. Short-term, very temporary. And then, of course, also upright behind that is union. So, I mean, I could keep doing this. I could keep doing this. I will. I'll go ahead and show you what the rest of them are. So after that union, there are obstacles. So it's like you're not done. There's still something to move away. And it's coming from a past life or something in you, either a past life or something from your past in this life. But Venus helps you to overcome that, right? Venus, the goddess and planet of beauty and confidence. She helps you to just conquer all. Look at this woman. Like there's nothing that she can't do. It's like, I am woman, hear me roar. So Venus helps you to do that. And here we end up on this very Two of Cups kind of card underneath a full moon. All of this can happen very, very fast. Like as soon as you commit to, you know, you're firm to work on yourself and to do what you need to do, and the universe is helping you, all of the rest of this can happen very, very fast. And that full moon at the end can be this very full moon, you know. You may face whoever this person is, whatever this energy is, tomorrow. And then the outcome. Ah, boom. Family, another very happy, like energy, party of three. Now, I don't want to rush, but I feel like, oh, you're forgetting, again, you're forgetting that you still don't have your laptop. So you got to get through this. Sorry about that, the incense. So I went to buy the purple candle. Those of you who saw the love reading, all that purple that showed up, I said I was going to buy a purple candle. And I didn't see one, but I saw the pink. For all that abundance that also showed up. So I said, let me get the pink. And then I burned purple incense instead with the scent of African violets. So I figured that would cover me. All right, so I'm going to do one more similar spread, but this one from the perspective of our past and past lives and what we need to address at this time and to complete and, you know, close the chapter in the book on from our past with this moon. So beginning with health, which came up also quite a bit in the love reading, particularly for the masculine, and opening to Native American. So Native American opposite health can be guiding us to do something like healing with herbs or through something shamanistic, and opening to knighthood. When knighthood comes up in this deck, it's like the type of person you are, that you've always been this sort of reliable and like a knight. And opening to angels. Angels and Egypt. Angels. Unrequited love. That could be what some of us need to leave. Angels. I'll do one more. And it's father. So there can be, again, something with a relationship with one's father, especially after the last spread that we had. or with ourselves as a father. Some decision we have to make, realization we need to come to so we can move on with our lives, because fathers deserve to be happy too. Being a father doesn't mean your life's over. Especially where there's forgiveness and we can come to, you know, some sort of meeting of the minds in order to move on. How can we compromise and move on? What's best for all of us? Overall energy is food and hunger, which is a card that basically represents a feeling of being deprived and not having enough. And then when the card shows up, it's pretty literal that it's about food, the way that the author wrote it. But, you know, I read it different ways too. Again, I read it pretty much as about being deprived, about being worried about lack, kind of like the Five of Pentacles. And when it shows up, it's to point it out to us, to remind us that that time is over. So it's something that we need to let go of. It's an energy that we need to release, and confidently, faithfully believing that it's not going to repeat itself in our life. Now, it can be more directly connected to food for some of us and causing us to have some sort of weight issues, insecurities about our bodies, or about food, or about the amount of money that we have, that, you know, how we're going to maintain enough. We could be hoarding food. We could be stockpiling stuff we don't need. We could be doing like crazy fad diets that are, you know, detrimental potentially to our health and all of these things. So if you think that you may be one of those, address it. Like, so maybe you can have one of these realizations and epiphanies that we saw in the first spread, and release it and let it go. That you know, in this lifetime, there will be no lack. That you no longer, you know, believe in lack, accept lack. You've opened yourself up to abundance and goodness. Ever revisit this. Divine being a couple. Recent past issue that we've had to deal with. Near future, something that's going to show up in this lifetime, maybe from a past life, that we'll need to address or welcome. Could be good news. Masculine's higher self, as it relates to that past issue. I went out of order, but I guess this is meant to be here. What the feminine can do to help herself. This should be blocks to one's individual progress or union. What the masculine can do to help himself. That's upside down. The universe would like to see the two do, but they'll have to first affirm to it. And the outcome. Divine being a couple. Persecution and inquisition. So this is that you being like the black sheep of the family, the oddball out, people coming at you, they don't get you, they don't understand you, you're under fire, negative energy hurled at you, people are trying to, you know, work you, as they say, all of that stuff. I mean, you guys are all familiar with this. It's like how they say, part and parcel of our journey. You're a being of light, the dark will try to shut you down. Recent past, coming into some sort of wisdom though, very Ace of Swords kind of card, High Priestess kind of card. Realizations, epiphanies, wisdom, information that can help you move forward. Near future, Greco-Roman. So some of us could be traveling that. Though if you are, that's very, you know, lucky of you. I'm jealous. But others of us are having to, in the near future, address some sort of issue that's or positive thing that is connected to Greco-Roman. So it can have to do with us being there, the fact that our, you know, our soul is from there at some point. It could be something in our family now having to do with ancestry or a lineage that comes up, legacy, but somehow we'll have to deal with this energy here. Masculine's higher self. Trees. Very nice. This is because the first thing I always think of when I see this card is like the tree of life and growth and father, and especially all that talking in the beginning of the video that I talked about, because Osiris's tomb is basically a tree, the tree of life. His coffin was caught in the branches, and or the box that he was nailed shut in by his brother Set, was caught in the tree of life and became part of it. But this for the masculine, means also that he needs to connect more with trees for knowledge, for peace, for meditation. So if you live in an area that's conducive to spending time outside and maybe under a tree or near a tree, I recommend you do that. It's also, it's the energy by which we're surrounded right now. The Virgo full moon, this is totally earth energy. So, that always guides us to, again, spend more time with Mother Nature too. Blocks to individual progress or group progress. Father, again, something, it's the same position that father showed up in the last spread, the same exact position. There is something having to do, again, with our being a father or with our actual father that is holding us back. Or both. There could be both. Maybe because of something through which we went with our father, we are now a certain way. Maybe we grew up without a father, so we're afraid to be that father that's not physically with our child, living in the same house, even though we're absolutely miserable. Maybe we're a female who grew up without her father, so now we have daddy issues, as they say. Maybe we're taking care of a sick parent, or our children are with us and they're grown. Our adult children are there, and we have to figure that out. Like how are we going to move on? Like, will you please leave the nest? Like I was talking about before. So something going on here, definitely with father that is a block. Now having come through more than once. What can the feminine do to help herself? Unrequited love. So there's something that we need to leave alone. There's someone we need to leave alone. And it can have to do with our father. It could be our father. Like this relationship is never going to heal. This is the apology that we have to accept without ever actually, receiving it. We have to accept this, the apologies we're never going to get. Something went on there with our father. We have to also get out of this place of fear. Like we're persecuting ourselves. Get out of this place of fear that every relationship is going to be unrequited love, that we're not going to receive the love that we're due. Because that's not true either. But some of us will come into some sort of, again, realizations, epiphanies, wisdom that'll help us to sort this out and figure out what it is to do. And maybe there's something underneath here with the guidance from the universe that we can affirm to that will help us as well. Masculine, what he should do, phobias, there's some fears and stuff that you need to address. Again, that maybe have to do with your father or with you as a father because of your father. And you're going to have to face those fears too. And, realize life goes on. And maybe you will have to accept an apology that you're never going to get, masculine. What the universe would have us both do. Lessons and blessings. Yes. Yes. Let the lessons in, karmic lessons. Learn from them and be blessed and move on. And that's going to free you up and open you up to expose you to be able to receive more blessings. Amen. And the outcome here. Scribe or writer. We're writing it off. We're writing it off. And maybe you're writing an actual letter to someone. Dear so-and-so, Father, I forgive you. I'm releasing this. Or maybe we're signing those papers. We got a divorce. Yes, I'm the father, but we can't be married anymore. Or, yes, you're my child's father. I love you, but we not in that way. It's not working. I'm ready to sign the papers. Many, many things that scribe or writer can be, but having to do with some sort of potentially a contract. You see there's an actual scroll here with a seal. A seal indicates some sort of official document. All right. Like I said, I want to be able to get this up to you without too much trouble. And I don't have my laptop, so I'm going to quickly do advice now. With my Keepers of the Light Oracle, I had wanted to give some advice, beginning with Isis, magic manifesting. Your dreams, visions, goals are all becoming a reality, but you got to stay focused in order to manifest. Masculine, from the butterfly deck, your card is grief work. So like I said in the beginning, I felt that there's something particularly that you, maybe not so much the feminine, are walking away from. And I think there's sadness attached to it, you know, but there's also going to be joy. And you have to let yourself be open to both and go through the motions that are associated with them. Feminine, our card from the butterflies is religion and spirituality. This can be a period, again, of lessons and blessings for us, growth in that area. Again, Jupiter having had a transit today and maybe having a couple during this period. Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, wants to help us to come to some new realizations. Masculine, speaking of something you need to leave behind, and all this father stuff showing up, and I'm you know, thinking that may be you in many cases. Brunette female, this is the karmic female. Okay, you've again, you got to sit it out or dance. It's up to you, but you may want to get away from this woman. Feminine, for us, Ice Queen, air signs. This can be representing first and foremost. Venus, again, very, very favorable transits at the beginning of this week and at the end of the week. She has one with Pluto. Well, that one could be questionable. Not sure. Other than that, she is all about the Ice Queen in general is all about determination and decisiveness and diplomacy. But Venus, remember, is the planet of love. And abundance. So it's positive to see her showing up here, leaving negativity and stuff behind and moving forward in a very decisive way and cutting off what no longer aligns with us. Masculine, for you, El Moria, awakening presence. So this is growth for you as well. The universe is with you. We're a cloak of protection and love, you know, to help you through your journey. Feminine, for us, Serapis Bay. So that's probably where this religion and spirituality, that growth is coming from. Ascension, through which we'll be going during this period. Move into true self and rise above the darkness. The light is here. That sounds like what I was saying in the beginning of the reading. Masculine, I can't make this up. Again, your card is leaving or travel. Get going, get moving. All right, that's what you got to do. And feminine, for us, High Priest or Priestess. Pay close attention to your intuition. Don't necessarily make any moves, you know, just for no reason. Be observant and use your wisdom and your intuition and any gut feelings and any other information that comes to you in any kind of way in order to decide what your next move should be before you make it. I hope that you guys have enjoyed our full moon in Virgo reading. 0 degrees Virgo. This should be very, very exciting 2 weeks. A lot of shifts, a lot of growth, a lot of expansion, a lot of love, a lot of money, abundance coming in all forms. Enjoy it. I'm happy to be able to read for you today. I'm happy to read for you as individuals. If you need my services, queenofswords@lightworker.com. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing both here and on Patreon and supporting me there. And those of you who super chat and talk to me, and even further than that, who send me donations during the super chat, thank you to all of you. I appreciate you. I love you. Namaste.